to start off from there. Go ahead.
This is Nahum chapter 3 verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery. They prey, departeth not.
The prey departs not. Who is the prey? The Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, man.
Right.
They were brought over here to serve slavery, taken from the west borders of Africa. All right, now you got this thing that Donald Trump did not too long ago, where he was separating the children from their parents, man.
Right.
That's a heavy crime that you committed right there, man. And Donald Trump, you're gonna have to pay for that.
That's right.
You don't play with nobody's fucking children like that. You don't take nobody's children away from them. You got the CPS, they be doing that shit too. You got heavy penalty to pay and to endure, man. That's why when you go into captivity for a period of 1,000 years, it's gonna be hell for you, man. I can't even describe it, but that's the word. Let me bring this one out real quick. Read that part again.
Woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not.
And the prey departs not. We can't go anywhere. You got assholes that say, go back to Mexico, go back over there to Israel, then this, that, and the third.
Right.
It's not like we got the ability to do things like that. All right, and we see people through the course of this ministry. As long as I've been in it, I've seen people try to go back and they end up coming back. Why? Because we're not used to that type of life yet. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You can't just do stuff like that. You know, and then you don't got the money, and then you don't got, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to think, you got to be reasonable. But the things that we're uttering is truth. It has to be spoken. This land was stolen from the Native American Indians. There were pillaged, raped, robbed. That's why it said, woe to the bloody city, man. America's full of blood. Just like the scriptures say that Abel's blood still cries up to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh to this very day, because he's waiting for his blood to be judged upon Cain. You know, because Cain slew his brother. It's like Esau slaying his brother right now, because we're brothers, but he's our wicked brother. He's a Hebrew Edomite. We're Hebrew Israelites. All right.
That's when that evil twin comes in.
Yeah, exactly. That evil twin, man. Yep. This is Revelations 13:10, or verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So you taking somebody's child, man, that's a heavy consequence that you're gonna have to bear yourself, man. And you're gonna have to go into captivity.
Right.
And now, not including what you've done to the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, man. When you brought them over here to serve slavery, and you never gave them that 40 acres and a mule, man. Now you got that asshole Spike Lee making a collaboration, or not a compilation of all the Jordans, and he puts that shit right in the back of his shoe, the 40 acres and a mule. That's a sellout, man.
Right.
And I don't know what tribe he comes from, but he look like a so-called Judite, right? But he could be from a different tribe, but he's sold out. But where's that 40 acres and the mule that Esau, the so-called white man, promised to our people, man?
Right.
For taking us out of our land and putting us to heavy bondage here in America, man. There's a heavy consequence for doing that and taking somebody's children, separating them, and just showing that you can do it. Well, guess what? The Most High about to show you that he can just do it too. That he's about to kill a lot of you people, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and the prancing horses and the jumping chariots.
Yeah, see, so those men coming in, destroying things, man. Rape, robbery, and destroying, man. Like I said that in the book of Matthew. Let me bring it out real quick. It says, let's see. Read that part one more time, huh?
The horse, Salakia. This is Nahum chapter 3 verse 2. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots.
So those are certain men that are coming and destroying, man. You know, like it says right here in the book of John 10:10, the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. You see? And who is that thief? Esau, man. You know? It's coming, stealing, taking things, oppressing individual people, taking children. You know? God damn, well, real quick, let me bring out this one here in Obadiah. Verse 5. It says, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the great gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Because in the law, when you went to go reap your fruits, you know, of the field, you were supposed to leave a little bit for the poor.
Right.
Esau don't do that. He takes it all. He wants it all to himself. And when you try to go and get like wood, firewood, you'll get cited for picking up wood from the side of the roads, man.
Right.
Because you're picking it off certain lines of whatever, however they have it governed, those regulations. Edomite, all these Edomite so-called white people have all these lands of the earth, you know, and they're given certain laws that you go into the cross a certain line, they're bound to shoot your ass, man, and they won't hesitate either. Right. These Edomites. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the thief cometh, but to steal and to destroy. All right, like the brother had read right there in Nahum 3. That's what it pertains to. It's pertaining to you Edomites, man.
White devils.
Yeah, these white devils, you fork-tongued devils. You want me to show you the Disney movie Pocahontas that is telling the kids there too? Go ahead.
The horseman lieth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain.
And there's a multitude of slain, man.
Right.
And that's what happens when usually a kingdom rises and it goes and smashes another kingdom. Just like in the book of Daniel talked about how Nebuchadnezzar was going to meet his fate by the hand of the King Cyrus, by the Medo-Persian Empire. They smashed, they did everything the same thing. And that time it pertained to them. But now in our time it pertains to Esau, the Edomites, the so-called white man, these Amalekites, the Khazars, the Caucasians. That's who it pertains to now in our time in 2018. Back then it pertained to these other countries, these other nations. But ultimately, it was going to lead up to Esau being condemned and judged as those other nations were. All right? And he was judged. During going back to Cain, the Most High put a mark on him and said that he was going to be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. What is a fugitive? Someone that's fleeing judgment. Now we're just reading your sentence. We're making you 2/3 know, and you other nations know your sentence, what you're going to have to receive, what you're about to face with, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
And a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses.
See, there is no end of the corpses. That's how we know we're living in the shadow of death, the valley of death, as King David described this place to be, man. Because King David, he was being pursued by his own man, by his own King Saul. Because the spirit was taken from him by his own people. They were pursuing King David because King David was next to take seat on the throne, man, and to govern righteousness. He labeled this place as the valley of shadow of death, man. This place is full of death, evil, and hate. And people will look at me and be like, you hate too. Yeah, I hate evil, man. I hate wickedness, man. I hate bullshit. I hate lies, man. A righteous hatred. You got an unrighteous hatred and you got a righteous hatred. And the Most High, they said that the Most High, that he's angry with the wicked every day, according to Psalm chapter 7. He's angry with the wicked every day. Guess what? Even the men that follow him are going to be angry too. Because it said, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, man, and the gift destroyeth the heart. You can't get around it with us, man. Why? Because we read the scripture. We're taught by well-advised men, as it is written in the book of Proverbs, man. Well-advised men. And who are those men? Our elders, man, a great millstone. GMS, Elder Tahar, Ariamla, Rakah, Ainab, Sakaran, all right, Manatazat. Those men are well-advised men, and they're well taught and versed in the scriptures to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. And that same spirit is in certain individual men, whether you're 20 men or one man. Because ultimately it's all the spirit of the Lord, man. Go ahead.
And a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses.
Yep. And that's what's coming to America, man. And when martial law, all hell breaks loose here, loose in here. That purge that goes on here, that everybody's talking about, they're excited to go watch that movie Purge.
That's right.
You don't know that they're showing you what they're about to do here, man. And there's some wicked ass people on the earth that they don't even know how wicked they are until they're faced with hunger. When they lose all their damn money, these people are gonna bug the fuck out, man. They're gonna bug out, and they ain't gonna know how to contain themselves because they never exercise themselves in godliness. The 2/3 are gonna bug out, you know.
Because of the multitude of whoredoms of the well-favored harlot.
Because of the multitude of whoredoms by the well-favored harlot. Who's the harlot that is speaking of right here? America, man. It's a well-favored harlot. Everybody wants to come and have a piece of America.
Right.
Everybody wants to come and have a piece of the Statue of Liberty. Who's the Statue of Liberty representation of? A woman, man. You know? Everybody wants a piece of her. Everybody wants to lie in bed with her. That's why she's likened unto a whore. Just like Israel was likened unto a whore. Why? Because she went after her other lovers, man. The other nations. And there's a consequence for being a whore, an adulterer. And what is that? It's a death. It's death, man. Go ahead.
The mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredoms.
See, and like it said in Nahum 3:1, it said you through your lies and robbery. So she sells nations
through her whoredom, and families through her witchcraft.
You see, and what are those? It's those other philosophies and false doctrines. Those wicked vibrations. These influential people they set up that they call idols and celebrities. Those are the ones that they use to push their agendas, man. Their influence on the masses, because they love that shit, man. These Edomites, they love seeing these certain women that they set up. You know, they're beautiful women, but they corrupt them, man. So a lot of Judite women that have that talent of singing, you'll see the transition from them when they first go in, and after a couple of years, they're all dark, man. Like, I mean, and they're wicked.
Right.
You can tell that they're a whore.
Right.
You know. And the ones that don't follow after their agenda, their ways, they get casted out. They ain't getting no advertisement, no publications. Why? Because that's how this system is set up. It's set up through witchcraft, man. And Esau came up with the best device, and that was through the television, man. That's how he indoctrinates you and influences you and puts demons on you, is through that television set. Now he uses cell phones, gives you access to whatever you want, whatever your heart's desire. You can find at a push of a button, man.
Right.
And we're in this flesh, and we fall susceptible to certain things. But that's how this devil works, man. And he's getting ready he's full of death, as it says, man. He's killing people. Now he ain't doing it physically at a mass number, as we were reading right here, but he's doing it spiritually. But it's coming to that time where it's gonna manifest itself physically. Go ahead.
And also that doest thou will spirit, it's manifest in the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty, the name itself is telling you you're free, right? You could do as you want.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful that the brother made that statement, because it's true. Liberty is meant to be free. This is the land of the free. And what do they mean by the land of the free? Meaning that you could do whatever you want here. We know, and we always said it, that this place is the beacon of evil.
Right.
The evil is attracted to come to this place. Like I said, everybody wants to lay in bed with her. Everybody wants to have a piece of her. All right? And I'm talking about these other nations, not the land itself, but the way and the light, the vibration, the spirit that's here. Real quick, let me bring this one out here in the book of 2 Maccabees. Going to Antiochus Epiphanes, because when you read about Antiochus Epiphanes, man, this man was a wicked ass ruler, man. Wicked. And he done a lot of evil things to the Maccabees, which were Israelites, man. Now there's this one part where he killed seven sons of a woman and her 7 sons. Tortured them. You can read the whole story in 2 Maccabees 7 all the way down. But there's a son that said what the brother had said. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 7 verse 15. Afterward they brought the fifth son, and mangled him. Then looked he unto the king, so that one that they were mangling, that 5th son, looked upon the king, which was Antiochus Epiphanes. It said, thou hast power over men, thou art corrupted. Thou dost what thou wilt. Yet think not that our nation is forsaken of Yahweh. So that spirit that they put on this place is the same spirit that's in these men, these Edomites. They do as they will, you know, and even within our two-thirds of our people, they have that same spirit, man. They've been possessed, taken over, right, by these certain people, man, by these witchcrafts, you know. So this man, Antiochus Epiphanes, and that brother that perished, knew, he spoke prophecy, which we know as Aleister Crowley. We know he's an Edomite. He said the same thing. Do what thou willest. Jay-Z wore a hoodie, had the words written on that hoodie, man. They read the teachings in the ways of Aleister Crowley, and they send out that vibration here amongst the masses of the people. But this brother, go ahead.
Not just that, his record label is Rock Nation. Rock Nation, that's the Rockefeller.
Yep. Yeah, and that rock is a symbol of a triangle, man. You know, which is the all-seeing eye. You got it on the back of your dollar bill. Right. You know, they use certain symbols that have they use it on the left-hand side of wickedness. Because not everything, all these symbols are not evil. They're just the evil use it for evil. You know what I'm saying? It's like they'll use the same herbs that we do that are written in the Bible, but they'll use it for the left-hand side to summon demons. You know, so there's a lot of movies that use that symbol of a rock, you know, of a triangle, you know, Rockefeller. Okay, who are the Rockefellers? The Rothschilds.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The Edomites, the ones that had the wealthy men.
The Jewish. Yeah,
the Jewish, the Amalekites, the Edomites. So he represents them, man. You know, he represents Satan. He represents Lucifer. Which Lucifer we know, but on the left-hand side, it's them. He's referring to those men that are of a high level, a high stature, the Illuminati, right. Which we already broke it down. The true illuminated ones are the brothers on the highways and the byways that have this hidden mystery, the true light. They don't have the true light. Their light is a false illumination of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Like the scriptures say, he tried to make himself as God, you know. But yeah, like the brother, like it said right here. Let me read it one more time. Then looked he unto the king and said, thou hast power over men, right? Like today, they have power over us, right? Thou art corrupted. That Statue of Liberty is corrupt. All right, everything here in America is corrupt. You got that little that statue of George Washington where it has half of a slash, like a garment hanging off, and you see part of his chest. They got an image of Baphomet doing the same shit. Because George Washington, he was a Freemason, a 33 degree, the highest level of Freemasonry you can get in, man. And the higher you get, the more you learn about the certain steps in receiving certain knowledge. That's why they call themselves illuminated or enlightened ones. Right. Which they know Lucifer means to be endowed with wisdom. Hidden mysteries. They know things that we don't know, or they know things that we didn't know. Now we know what they know.
Right. They try to hide it.
Yeah, they tried to hide it. They kept it for themselves.
Perfect example right there. Messenger Michael, make him look like an Edomite. Mm-hmm.
Different ways, man. There's all different ways that this man, this well-favored harlot, had sold the nations her whoredoms and witchcrafts, which is those different doctrines, philosophies. Right. Go ahead.
Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts.
Yep, the Most High is against you, so are we. Go ahead.
I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
That's right. So the Most High is declaring and making known these things, man. You know, not us. You know, the Spirit of the Lord is doing this. He's showing us your shame. You know, for thousands, well, not thousands, but for years, you were sweeping everything under a rug. But under that rug is still that same dirt. So that dirt is eventually, that rug's going to develop a bump, and you're going to be tripping over. So what you got to do, you got to clean it out. You got to get rid of it to lay everything flat and clean. That's what's happening right now. I believe it's either that scripture or the next one we're going to talk how it's going to, you're heaping things up, man. And that's what it is. You sweep all that dirt under the rug, it starts to heap. A heap is to make like a hill, like like a hill, a ramp or some type of thing, man. You know? But the Most High is showing your shame, man. He's lifted up your skirt. Go ahead.
I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock.
Yep. Now you're a gazing stock. It's like going to, in the book of Isaiah, just to prove that it's talking about men and nations, is in the book of Isaiah chapter 14. It says, right here, Isaiah 14:14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's what these Edomites, these nations say. When they rule over men, children, women, you know, they want to play gods or to be as the Most High. Check it. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, right, to a low condition. You're going to be brought down to a low condition. You're not going to be on top no more. It says, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms? Like the brother read right there. Read it one more time.
And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee a gazing stock.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. We're going to look at this man. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake the kingdom? We're going to be looking about, it was this piece of shit. This one is the one that did all this. So you're going to be made a gazing stock. We're going to be looking at you. You're going to be under our foot. You're going to be licking the dust off our foot, man. You're going to be serving us.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her?
Yeah, Nineveh. That was another city that was of mass wickedness. All right, but who's going to bemoan her? Who's going to bemoan for America, man?
Right.
The wicked, but the elect, we're going to be rejoicing over the destruction of this place, man. Why? Because we're going to be in a better place. We're going to be with our true power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, the creator of all things, the universe.
Right.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee. Salakia. Verse 8, art thou better than populars? No. That was situated among the rivers that had waters round about it, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea.
Yep, meaning that you're of great abundance, man.
Right.
You know, you got a lot of rivers here in America. You got oceans all around it. But you know what I'm saying? It's this place. It was a beautiful place at one time, man. You know, just like Jerusalem, Israel. You got the Tigris River. You had the Nile River. You got the Euphrates River and the Red Sea, which is spoken of in the book of Genesis, where it talks about how to locate the Garden of Eden. Okay, because that water being around a city or a place, it brings fruitfulness to it, man. But now America's being laid waste. You got rivers drying up. You know, you got O.C. Fisher here and Twin Buttes. They're basically gone, man. The only one they got thriving going on is Lake Nasty Water, Lake Nasworthy. And you got dirty ass Concho River. But other than that, you can't live off that. You ain't gonna drink that water. You know? Go ahead.
Ethiopia and Egypt were her strength, and it was infinite.
Yep, it's like America depends on China, all these other nations continue its traffic, its business. Because this place is a corporation. They bring all these good imported goods, and they make money off the people, man. You know, they get rich off the nation. The other nations getting rich off of her. Go ahead.
Put and Lebium were thy helpers.
Yeah.
Yet was she carried away. She went into captivity. Her young children also were dashed in pieces at the top of all streets.
See, so all these other nations are going to forsake you, man. Right now, they're all with you, but there's going to come a point where Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to lift that. This is in the book of Revelations, chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's that third world's war. So all these other nations are going to turn their back away from you, man. All right? And it says, for Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. So when the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai are fulfilled, those nations are going to turn against you, man. And they're going to destroy you. They're going to take part in destroying America. They're not going to be your helpers no more. They ain't going to care about those little peace treaties that they make with you.
Right.
They're going to be fed up, you know? Because why? It's written in the scriptures. It's the word of prophecy. Okay? Go ahead.
And they cast lots for her honorable men, and all her great men were bound in chains.
Yep. See, you know, and you like in our time, these higher ups, the Illuminati, so-called, the Rothschilds, Bilderbergs, the Gettys, or the DuPonts, all these rich, wealthy men, Bill Gates, you got all these individual men. They're going to be the first fruits of the slaves in the kingdom, man. Those great, mighty men, those renowned men, they're going to be the ones that are going to be in heavy bondage. All right? Hold that up and get Psalms, just to prove a point on that. In the book of Psalms, and it's going to be the last one towards the back of Psalms. So it's going to be 149. Psalms 149. And we'll start at the top and read all the way down. Or you know what? Just start at Psalms 149 and 5.
Psalms chapter 149, verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in the glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains.
To bind their kings with chains, man. So the men of the Lord are holding a double-edged sword in their hand, man. And what is that double-edged sword? This word. It's sharper than any two-edged sword. All right? And we're going to bind your kings with chains. Go ahead.
And their nobles with fetters of iron.
And your nobles with fetters of iron, man. So meaning you're going to go into captivity, man. The first fruits of Esau, the Amalekites, are going to be held in slavery for captivity. You old men, who care if you're 70, 80 years old, you're going to be taken into chains. You're going to be put through heavy bondage in that time.
That's right.
Go ahead.
To execute upon them the judgment written.
See, to execute upon you the judgment that is written. Because there's judgments that are written in this book that are going to be executed by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This book ain't all about love. And love, you people don't even know what love is according to the Bible. You claim you believe in the Bible, this, that, and the third. And you'll utter such words, but you won't tell me what it represents. What is love? Because even certain family members will tell me they love me, but they'll go behind my back and screw me over. So that they don't love me. So what is love, man? A complete stranger telling me that you love me? How are you showing me you love me? What are you doing? And I'm already giving you the answer on how to break it down. What are you doing? It's an action word. Right. So what is that action that you have to show that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is when it talks about love? What is it?
To execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints.
All this honor have his saints, like I read in Revelation 13 a while ago. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. We're waiting for this.
Right.
We're waiting to take part in that, man. That should be it on that. Let me bring this one out since you read that. This is in the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast, but that which you have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my words unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And that rod of iron, a rod is to use to be to strike you on your back, man. All right. It says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and the vessels of the potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father, and I will give him the morning star. See? So that morning star represents what? Yahweh Shai, who is what? The illuminated one, the enlightened one. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. All right. So going back to the book of Nahum, like the brother was reading, that's who it's talking about. Those great men. It's talking about these great men that are here today in our time, America. Like I made mention of certain ones, the Gaddys, DuPonts, the Rothschild, Rockefellers, the ones that attend the Bilderberg Committee. You know, you got all these different committees that these rich individual Edomites, these other nations take part in. Those, you're going to be those ones, those first fruits. Go ahead.
Thou also shalt be drunken, thou shalt be hid, thou also shalt seek strength because of the enemy.
Yeah. You're going to try to seek strength because of the enemy, and the enemy is going to be Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's why they got that space war program going on. You got movies that they're pushing out to get you people ready to fight against an invasion if it comes, that they're demons, that they're aliens to take and destroy you. They're here to destroy you, but they're righteous individuals, the righteous entity. Go ahead.
All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with a first strip fig. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater.
That's right. See, a tree that's faced with the great force of a wind, an east wind, it ain't gonna stand up against it, man. It's gonna break to pieces. Branches are gonna fall. It's gonna be left bare, butt naked, like I said, that the Lord's gonna make you bare naked. So whenever a tornado comes through, and if it were to run through right here, this tree would be stripped of all its leaves, man. Meaning that it's bare, it's naked. That's how you're going to be in that time. Go ahead. Because the trees represent nations or people.
Right.
Go ahead.
Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women.
The people in the midst of thee are women, man. Meaning that you men are like females. Feminine. Emotional. All right? Especially when it comes to this Bible, this word. You're emotional. Your true intents are drawn out of you when this word comes out. You got a lot of gainsayers that they may not have the boldness to say shit, but in their minds they're speaking and they're gonna go home talking shit.
That's right.
You had a woman that walked in, like I said earlier, flipping us off. With her back like this, with her middle finger up, flipping us off. Who does that shit? You know what I'm saying? If she were to do that shit,